Hey everyone! So what I wanted to do for you guys today is to do a subtle smoky eye. I know a lot of times we don't want to not look like we have makeup on, but in the middle of the day we don't want to have really dark kind of nighttime makeup. So today I'm going to show you what my routine is to do a kind of daytime smoky eye. It may be a little heavy for some of you if you're not used to wearing makeup. I always wear full coverage makeup. I actually have no makeup on right now. My skin don't look too bad. But I'll show you what my routine is for this and let me know what you think. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to moisturize. This is the oil-free moisturizer from Neutrogena for combination skin. Moisturize. My skin has been really dry. Being in Virginia Beach, it was like freezing, and then now it's like 70 degrees outside. So my skin is like, what are you doing to me? Alright, so after that, I'm going to prime my eyes with the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. It does also act as a primer. This is in the color NW20. You just need a little bit, so I usually just use my hand. And then we're just gonna put it on our eye lid, just the lid, maybe a little more. After you prime your eyes, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Palette. This is the original one. I like this one better than the other ones because I feel like it gives you more variety. The Naked 3 is more like pink tones, or is that the 2? One of them is like pink and one of them has some darker colors, but this has like a good variety and it's not like super dark. This fluffy brush is from like CVS. It came in a 3-pack. They have this like pink bottom to them. Really, like any big fluffy brush will work for this part. The first thing you're going to use is the color Naked in this palette. It's kind of a matte tone, and that's just going to be your all over lid color. So you're just going to kind of go in here. You're going to go pretty high with it. It's such a neutral color that you barely even see it, to be honest. I might do a little bit more. And just kind of sweeping motions. And some twisty motion. That's the wrong way. Looking at you and looking at the camera, everything is opposite. So then the next thing we're going to do is, this is actually, it's called Constant Toast. It's by Maybelline. I think it was like $4 at the drugstore. It's a very nice like lighter brown. Unfortunately the Naked palette doesn't offer anything like this. I guess they have the color Buck, but it's not really like, it's this one. So we just used this, and now this is Buck, but I'm not like crazy about how dark it is. It's still a little too neutral, at least for my skin tone. So we're gonna use this one by Maybelline. And we're just gonna go back in there kind of in the same area. You don't have to go up quite as high now. It's kind of right above the crease, and just like windshield wiper back and forth. Don't like pack on the product. You don't want it to be like crazy, like you just made a streak. Put on little by little. Start with a little bit of product, and then you could always grow from there. You could add on from there. If you start off heavy, you have to take it all off and kind of start all over again, and that's kind of a pain. So you're gonna windshield wiper motions back and forth, and make sure you go from this end to all the way over. You don't want to have like all of your product on one side. Then the next thing you're gonna do is, I'm gonna take sort of like a flat, not super flat, but it's a flatter eyeshadow brush. This is a medium shadow brush. It's a no-name. You can get it from the drugstore, or you can go and spend $25 on one from Sephora. I do both. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the color in here called Sin. It's kind of like this, the light in here is not that great, but it's like a light pink champagne-y kind of color. So you're going to go ahead and take some of that, and you're going to tap it into just on the lid area. If you want, a little trick you can do if you want your shadows to be a little more bright or a little more foiled is, if I have MAC Fix Plus, sometimes if I'm looking for a little more of like an oomph in the color, you can just, once you put your color on the brush, you just spray it, and it gives a more foiled effect. I'm not going to do that today because it is a daytime look, so I don't want it to be like too exaggerated. You just go ahead and put that in the crease, on the lid, and then the other side. Then we're going to go ahead back with that same fluffy brush and just kind of blend it in. blend the crease. You don't want any like harsh lines. You don't want it to look like stacked. Okay, and then the next color that we're going to use is called Toasted. And this is kind of like the darker pink color in here. It's sort of like between a pink and a like tan. So you're going to take a fluffier brush. This one's a little more dense. It doesn't really have a name, but it's not super fluffy and it's not super dense. So you're going to take Toasted and get some on your pencil, or sorry, your brush, and you're gonna go kind of, this is gonna be for your crease. So your windshield wiper motions in your crease and bring a little bit down at the bottom. Don't drag it in. So just a little bit at the bottom. And this is gonna be a very neutral colored smoky eye. It's not gonna be super black or super brown. It's just going to be very neutral. On the other side, windshield wiper motions. When I first did this, I actually did it earlier today, and I got a lot of compliments on it, so I was like, oh, this would be a great tutorial for you guys. When I first did it, I was like, oh, these colors are kind of like bleh. And then once I did the eyeliner and the mascara and everything, it all really came together nicely. So once you do that, what we're going to do is take one last color. If you have a brush that's a little denser than the one you just used, that's fine. I have this one by e.l.f. It's the contour brush, so this will work. Then you're going to take the color Hustle, which is right next to Toasted, and it's like a darker taupe color. And this one you're going to use in the crease, or like in the corner. So you're just going to put it in that corner. You're not really going to extend it out too far. And this is just to kind of darken it up. And it just kind of, you can see the difference. It just gives a little bit more of like a deep effect. And don't worry about any fallout you have. That's why we didn't put on our foundation yet. So that way we can kind of clean it up at the end. So again, just go in that outer corner. So that's all you're going to do. Then we're going to go back with that big fluffy brush we started with and kind of blend everything out. You don't have any extra product on it. You're just blending it. And now what I actually like to do is go back with that naked color. That was that very light color that we used first. And go back over the top. Just to kind of blend it all out one last time. And if you have another like nude palette, you can do this with really any nude palette. I'm going to leave the eyes alone now, and I'm going to come back to them after I do my foundation routine. So today I'm going to use, the MAC Match Master. This has a 15 SPF in it. I really like this. It's supposed to kind of match your skin tone even if it's not like perfect. But I love this. I use this all the time. This is kind of, the other one I use all the time is the HD Makeup Forever one. However I feel that day. So I'm gonna do 4 pumps today. I usually just put it on my hand like this, and this is my beauty blender. Again, you run it under water when you have a beauty blender. You squeeze the water out once it's kind of, you'll see it grow. So once it's done getting kind of fat, you squeeze the water out, then take a towel and squeeze it one more time in the towel, and then it's gonna be a little bit damp. And I love this. I was using brushes before. I was using the MAC stippling brush, and then I have like other brushes, but this is definitely my favorite way thus far. So you just stipple on your makeup. It just gives such an even look. Once my foundation's on, then I'm going to take my concealer. Today I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in the color Custard. I go a shade lighter. I actually want to invest in a like dark circle concealer, and then I put my regular concealer on top because sometimes I get really dark circles under my eyes. So the way I do this is I kind of make a triangle. So I come down the side of my nose, and then you don't have to go this far out if you don't really like battle dark circles. I do though, so I go all the way out. If you don't, you can just keep it right under the eye. So I'll usually do this twice. And then go all the way out. And then do the same thing. I'm going to do some highlighting and contouring with this video too, so you'll see it's not like extreme. This, again, like can be used as a daytime look. For those of you that are like me and wear makeup and feel comfortable. If not, you can definitely use it as a nighttime look too. So once you do that, you're going to take your Beauty Blender again, and you're going to push it in. And just, again, stipple. It's like just bouncing. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of highlighting and contouring. So I have, it's so dirty, I have the Prep and Prime by MAC, and this is in the, it's a highlighter in the color Light Boost. It's a yellow. They have like a more pink color and one that's like a little more, not orange, but like a peach tone. I like this one because I have yellow undertones, and I felt like I got in the, it's called, I forget what it's called. I got in the pink one, and it just kind of blended in with my skin. I didn't really see like a highlight necessarily, so I went back and got the yellow one. And MAC is so good, especially the ones at Macy's, about taking stuff back, because I just get so annoyed when you buy something and then it just is not what you at all expected. It's not supposed to do this, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a color that is quite a few shades darker than my own skin tone. This one is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup, and it is in the color N7, which is Classic Tan. The Match Master I used was in a 2.0, so you can kind of see how significantly different they are. But I'm not using, like, some girls use, like, super, super dark for their contour, and I'm like, that's a little scary for me. So all you're going to do here is you're going to, I have this kind of pointed brush. This one is the pointed foundation brush by Real Techniques. I love their brushes. I think they're great, and Ulta always has a buy one, get one 50% off. So you can, this one came in like a pack of 4, like, different brushes. So this is a just pointed foundation brush. Really just use whatever brush you have. And to do the contour, you're going to go from the top of your ear and kind of follow it down to your mouth. But you're not going to go all the way down. You're just going to kind of go halfway. And then you can add more as you want. I'm not going for like a super drastic look because, again, this I would wear this during the daytime. Then the other side. So you see? And then I'm going to do a little down my nose. And a little down this side. So you see? And then here I'm going to put a little on my temples. You don't have to do all of this. I mean, if you want to stop just at the cheeks, that's totally fine. Everything else is extra. And then a little down the sides on my jaw. And if you have like great bone structure, you don't have to do any of this, but I am not that lucky in life. So then from here, we're going to take that highlighter that I talked about, and we're going to squish it out. We're going to put some in the middle of the forehead, down the nose, down the sides of the eyes. Again, all this is extra. You don't have to do any of it. It's not required, it's not necessary, and if you feel like it's too much, skip it completely. I just like the way it looks. So, I don't know, I like to do all the brown stuff first and then do all the yellow stuff first, but I'm gonna tap this in, and with your Beauty Blender, just kind of like work it in. You can also do this with a brush. If you don't have a Beauty Blender, you'll just kind of buff it, and you can kind of elongate it here if you want. So it's really going to blend in, and you're barely going to see it. Okay, so I think it's a significant difference from not having, or just putting your foundation on. Then from here, I'm going to go back to my eyes. So what I'm going to do is, I really love, let me wipe this off before I touch myself, which I'm bound to do, and then ruin my clothes. The Makeup Forever, this is the cream liner. It's also technically a shadow, but I really like it as the cream liner. And then I have the Sephora angled brush. It is the Pro Angled Liner Brush. I keep it in here because it's such a delicate brush. This is what it comes with, which I think is great. It is such a delicate brush because it's super thin. Can you see this? It's really thin. So I just think it's so great for doing this kind of liner. I'm going to do a winged liner. I gotta be careful with this now. So I'm going to start at the lash line. and just line it at the lash line. I need another mirror. Get a little more on there as you need to. And I just start with a very thin line because you can always add product. You don't want to start with a super thick line and then realize you can't stand it. Then I'll do the other side. So you can stop there. You don't have to keep adding. I just like the way that it looks. If you're not used to wearing a lot of liner or a thick liner, I don't suggest adding on from here. But if you like the way it looks and you want to give it a shot, heck, why not? Just even it out. Okay, so then what you're going to do is when you do a winged liner, you kind of want it to go from here to like where your the top of your eyebrows. You're not going to go all the way up, but that's the general direction. You should be able to make a straight line. They say, which way does that go? It should kind of be like this. And in here, well, is where your line should be. I'm going to try my best to do this without screwing it up for you guys. So I'm going to go, make sure you don't touch the black eyeliner and then touch your face. I'm going to take it, and I also kind of line it up with my waterline. That sort of gives you a general sense of direction. And I just start like that. I just make the line and leave it. And then you'll do the other side. And then kind of look at them. Then you're just going to connect it. So you take your brush and you go from that corner and you just kind of bring it straight in. At least this is the way that I do it, and then I go from there, and then you fill it in. Okay? And then you can kind of continue it into the rest of your liner and just make it one clean sweep. So you see how you started like that, and then you ended up like this. It's just a really pretty cat eye. And then you do the same thing to the other side. And fill it in. And then connect it all. You see? And then just clean it up as you need to. If you, like, accidentally, I made it a little too thick here. So then I'll just even out the other side. This takes a really long time to like figure out, and I'm not even great at it yet. It has taken me a while to kind of figure out the techniques that work for me. A lot of trial and error. I definitely suggest trying it without any eyeshadow on first. That way you can kind of get the feel of like where you like your angle to start and how high up you want to go and all of that. I'm going to take my black eyeliner, and the one I use is the Urban Decay. It is here it is. The 24/7. This is the Glide On pencil. I think, yeah, it's Perversion. It's really, really, really black. And you're just going to go in that waterline. I'm just going to set everything on my face. This is the Prep and Prime by MAC. It's the transparent finishing powder. It's just, it's white, but it doesn't come out white. And this is my dual fiber face brush by Real Techniques. Just kind of do this. Get it everywhere. Make sure you definitely get under your eye because you want to set your concealer. And you don't want that to move during the day. This is their Real Benefit mascara. Favorite freaking mascara that was ever invented on this planet. I love it with everything in my heart and soul. So you're just gonna put on your mascara. Try to be very careful not to touch your lid because then you've just ruined it all. This is the Wet n Wild color icon. This is in the color Reserve Your Cabana. I use it as a highlighter. I think it's so great and it's cheap. It's like $3. I have lots of expensive makeup. I also have lots of cheap makeup. You don't have to get everything super expensive. And you're just going to put that right kind of at the tops of your cheekbones. This is also an optional step down the center of that nose where you have that highlight, and right at the bottom of your cheek and above your lip. So that's it. I'm going to go in with this is just a Lancome number 6 blush. It's a cheek brush. And this is actually, no! Oh, That was just the stupid thing, which I don't care about. This is the Milani Baked Brush. This is in Luminoso. It's kind of like a peachy color. I love these, and they're so inexpensive. They're from the drugstore. They're like $7, and they're super, like, they don't, you'll see, they don't come out like too dark or too light, but they have this really great glow to them. They're going to be really awesome for spring and summer. You can even just wear them on their own with a little bit of lipstick and some eyeliner and hit the road. So I usually go just right over where you had your contour. So you're going to go just kind of right over that. Right above, well, right like on the apples of your cheeks. I like to add a little extra because I feel like it fades a little. And you can kind of go up just a little in your temple. So for your brows, you're just going to follow underneath and then you're going to follow on top. Oops, I just touched my eye. So just kind of line it lightly. Don't press hard. Very lightly. You mess it up, just kind of buff it out. And then the top. And then just kind of fill it in, little lines, like little motions, little sweeping motions. Don't press hard. So you see the difference so far? We're not even done. I'm going to take this little spoolie brush and I'm just going to brush it out, and this is going to just make it look so much softer. You really can't appreciate the significance of how much softer it looks in the camera vice looking at it here in the mirror. And you're just going to brush them out. Like, I'm missing something. Lipstick. You need lipstick always. This, I got a sample. This is Bare Minerals, the Moxie Get Ready. I got this in my Ipsy bag? Yeah, my Ipsy bag. And I actually really like it. So, a little bit of lipstick. You can use a more neutral pink if you want. So, that is it. You are done. You can add a little highlight in here or in the inner corners. I don't think you need it right now. This is the finished look. I wear this during the day. Not everybody feels comfortable wearing this during the day. I'll wear this to work. I'll wear this out to lunch with friends. It's totally up to you. But I love this look, and I really think that it's great that I can achieve this look with pretty much one palette and then that one darker brown by Maybelline, which you really don't need if you don't have it. It's not a necessity, but I do love the Urban Decay, all the Urban Decay line of everything they have, but I really like their naked lines, all the different palettes. I just happen to get the original because they're like $50 a piece, so they're not that cheap, but I really love that. If you have any questions or comments or would like to see something else, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe and have a great day. Bye.